Beware Maria. Maria talks about music, about mythology and education, about other ways to do things, about games and art, about things that are fun and can be related to each other. Maria has conversations with herself and others about meaning and purpose, or about the things she did, or about the things you're going to do. Maria finds it a bit odd to talk about herself in the third person, so beware. I'm angry today. I am very angry with Hermes. I'm angry with Hermes because I bought something online and I spent the whole day, the whole morning at home when it was going to arrive. I didn't know that it was Hermes. I just was told it was going to arrive. And it didn't. And the door didn't ring. And I didn't get a card or anything saying we've been here and we missed you. So I've been here at home. I didn't receive my parcel. And when I tried to go to track it, I first received a message, that was it, from Hermes saying, sorry, we've missed you. How does it feel to receive a sorry, we've missed you, if I know I've been here sitting on my sofa all morning? When you go to the Hermes website, and this is some experience that I'm sure that some of you have had before, there is no way to contact a human being there. There is only track your package, give your things back, and a few other stances, but there's no way. There's no way to talk to anybody and to put a complaint and to say, why you tell me this? So that makes me more angry. And I suppose not just me, it makes any customer more angry when this happens. Hermes. I was thinking, what is it about Hermes that they took this name? Because if you Google now Hermes, you don't get the Greek god, you get the company. And you also get Hermes, which is the handbags. Hermes, the Greek god, is the son of Zeus and the Pleiad Maya. It's often identified with the Roman Mercury and with Casmilus or Cadmilus. Oh my God, who's that? Anyway, so his name derives from Herma, the Greek word for a heap of stones, such as was used in the county to indicate boundaries or as a landmark. What powers Hermes had so that they decided to give that name to a company for delivery. He was an Olympian god. That means he was a descendant, direct son of Zeus. Superhuman, strength, durability, stamina, agility, and reflexes, and he is immortal and resistant to any disease. And what about, was he a good or a bad god? They were good and bad gods. He was the cleverest of the Olympian gods. I can see how. If they're clever, are they clever? Not wanting to get complaints from people? There's no way for me to report. I didn't find it in the website. He ruled over wealth, good fortune. I'm sure they have made a lot of fortune during the last year when online shopping has had a real boost. Good fortune, commerce, fertility, and thievery. Thievery. He was a kind of a trickster, Hermes. And yeah, I see here, he does a reputation as a trickster and has a habit of stealing. And he also has the ability to jump through music. Hermes was in love with Aphrodite. He had various lovers, and one of the lovers was Aphrodite. And Aphrodite and Hermes had a child that was called Hermaphroditus, like Hermaphrodite, Persephone, and several other mortals and goddesses. And Hermes also had a few male lovers, including Perseus. And he had a good number of mortal children and immortal children too, like the hermaphrodite, which, as you may probably know, was a part male, part female. As hermaphroditism is the condition of having both male and female reproductive organs. Hermaphrodite was male originally, and he was having a bath. And there was this water nymph, Salmacis, who saw him, and she fell in love with him, and she prayed to the gods that the gods that they would never be separated. And then the gods gave a literal interpretation of her request, and they joined the pair into one body. So this is why hermaphroditus combines male and female. And we've been saying hermaphrodite since the medieval times in here. Am I still the same as angry as I was? Yes, I'm still angry at Hermes. Because, it's the difficulty on being able to communicate. I think I'm going to give my parcel back because I continue researching a little bit more, not about the gods, but about the company. And I'm seeing reviews from former employers saying very poor management, it won't cover your expenses, they don't pay as much as they promised, and even that Hermes drivers have been working for free for several hours a day because there are other staff in the depots and they cannot start earning any money until the work is done, so they're doing lots of extra hours for free. So I'm not surprised that maybe the driver, if they really arrive or they really manage to make it, I don't know, maybe they didn't find the house or they couldn't wait because they had to go for the next one. I don't understand it. But what I see is that several drivers, and this is the Guardian, quite recent, speaking under condition of anonymity, they explain that as they get paid per delivery, they are entirely dependent on the sorting process being completed before they can start the working day. And the unions are not happy. And the employees are not happy. And I am not happy. And more customers are not happy because I've been checking reviews from customers who say the same. We can't talk to a human being. And I'm not a happy bunny. This is what my ex-husband used to say like that. I'm not a happy bunny. Or I am a happy bunny. I am definitely not purring at all. You know that bunnies also purr like cats, or very similar to cats? I had no idea. I just was looking after a rabbit last year, and I could check it. But let's go to do something that could improve my mood and your mood and my well-being, and let's be a little bit of jazz with D. Yankee. The piece is called Cocktail Reception, and it's totally unrelated to being a not happy bunny. talking about rabbits. Last year I was looking after a rabbit and a dog in a house in Richmond, in a beautiful, beautiful place, and I had a great experience. And I had never looked after a rabbit before. And the reasons why I was looking after two animals instead of being at home is a funny one. Well, interesting fun fact about me, but I'm not going to have time today to explain it. This is a pending story that I shall explain soon. I did learn a lot about rabbits, and at the end of my stay in that house, I was just feeling so much about the rabbit and leaving it behind, and the dog too. But I think the rabbits are so endearing. Well, I find it so endearing, and I've eaten rabbit many years ago, but I couldn't be able to eat rabbit anymore again after meeting that rabbit. And yeah, I was getting emotional about the rabbit when I knew I had to leave and not see the rabbit anymore. They're so. Another fun fact about rabbits, when they say breeding about rabbits, it is that they start breeding actually at just 3 to 8 months old. And once they reach that point, they will be copulating 8 months out of the 12 months of the year for the rest of their lives. So yes, and every time they are breeding, the female rabbit, is there a name for female rabbit? Female rabbit. She will give birth to about 12 little kids every time. So yes, breathing like rabbits. There are a few disgusting fun facts about rabbits, which is like they eat their own poop or they can't vomit because of the way their mouth and their digestive tract is designed. But the one that caught my attention the most is that a rabbit has almost 360 degrees vision. Can you imagine that? Like if you have this camera in your phone that you go 360, that's how a rabbit sees. Amazing to coordinate that in your head. The trade-off is that rabbits have a small blind spot directly in front of their faces because they have the eyes, the skull is so thin, and with the eyes where they are, yes, they cover a lot, and they might, when they are too small, when they are very small, to not see just in the center. And they clean themselves just as the cats do. So another clean animal who makes a very endearing, loving, nice pet. Coming back to Hermes, I didn't say before that the most relevant thing here is that Hermes was the messenger of the gods, who is able to cross easily all boundaries, who's got described as a divine herald with winged sandals or a winged cap. And I am going to have an altar to Hermes very soon at home and start sacrificing goats or things. No, maybe not going to kill a goat about it, but yes, a sacrificial altar to offer. What can I sacrifice? Honey. They would put honey to the gods. That's another thing they would do. By the way, then Hermes became Mercury. I'm sure you know that. Mercury as the Roman god. So yes, a sacrificial altar, because with what is happening with transport in this country and the cost of it, of international transport, this is possibly sometimes the only resource that I feel I'm going to have. Just pray. And according to the BBC, UK food and drink exports to the EU almost have halved in the first quarter of this year. And it won't be just food and drink. And according to the Independent, the food shortage fears because 3/4 of UK hauliers face being locked out of the EU. And there have been, I'm sure you've seen supermarkets with, it's difficult to imagine that we can get to have here food scarcity. At the moment, what I see where I am is just sometimes lack of certain specific products on some empty shelves, but not really that you can't eat. However, we'll see, and we'll pray to Hermes. For the moment, we can do a musical offering to the god, which is called medianoche, that means midnight. And it is by the same musician as before, and I really like it, and it's called D Young Key, Midnight, Medianoche. And with this beautiful medianoche, I'm going to say bye very soon. I don't feel so angry. There's nothing like being able to process anger. And the spoken word and saying the things you didn't say to other people is a great way to process that anger so that it doesn't get stuck. Processing anger leads you to get to know what you really want. I just want fairness. Fairness is what I want. I'm going to be on holiday for the next 2 weeks, so my 2 next programs are going to be repetition. And have a good week.